And as we told you, there were a lot of charges in this case. And when you call that phone number now, it's been disconnected. A dozen people have already gathered here to watch. The judges that you just heard from says you are invited out here. Firefighters said the winds were a problem when they showed up on the scene. The driver of a blue pickup truck was heading off the frontage road here. You can actually walk under this section of the pipe, but it's the part over there for the veterans is a chance to get outdoors. Stroud has now been coming to work here at the Bryan County Courthouse for the past 32 years.
Hello, I'm Alex Belser in for Tom and Meredith.
Storm sure did a number on this tree right in front of the Lane post office. No one answered the door at Stewart's girlfriend's home. Looking at how the fire blackened the side of this tree, also planning to put in a brand new playground set, adult basketball, a youth volleyball, and adult volleyball. They're using the one machine to try to get the other one out. I believe the thieves may have used this pathway between the house and the apartment complex. Spectators turned out to catch the opening ceremony. This energy drink has several ingredients, including caffeine and ginseng, and it turned out he had won $40 million.
A Texoma town is celebrating a big birthday.
With the help of a fire truck spotlight, Culbert and Cartwright firefighters worked to extricate the victims of a crash on the Red River Bridge.
This was pretty bad. This is one of the worst ones I've seen.
Around 8 o'clock, troopers say the SUV driver was headed south on Highway 6975 when he lost control.
He struck the bridge, he bounced off and hit the other guardrail, bounced off and hit the opposite guardrail again, and was struck by the first semi. And at some point they separated, and then a second semi come along and hit the vehicle and pushed it to where it stopped here.
The impact left the vehicle wedged between the front of one semi and the end of the sidewall on the Texas side of the bridge, killing 3 people, including a child. The semi drivers were okay. With the road covered with snow, troopers say there's probably a simple explanation for the crash.
Ice and most likely speed not necessarily speeding, but too fast for the ice.
The crash forced the southbound lanes of the highway to be shut down for hours, and it's not the only accident we found right in the same area.
They come slow, the same to the other truck.
Yeah.
And they go to the left and to the right.
This driver's trip came to a sudden end when his semi jackknifed near the Highway 69 exit in Denison, leaving it laying across the shoulder on the side of the road. Back on the bridge, an ODOT and TxDOT truck showed up on the Oklahoma side of the bridge to put down sand and a gravel mixture called chat.
They're waiting on us to get out of the way so they can finish sanding it now.
At the Red River, I'm Alex Belser reporting. 2 residents in this Durant home woke up in the early morning to the smell of smoke and the sight of flames.
Fire, smoke, everywhere.
Craig Johnson says he went to look for 23-year-old Kathleen Jolly and her boyfriend, 18-year-old Troy Coburn.
She was in the bedroom there, and the fire had engulfed the bedroom pretty much, but I went in twice and was unable to make it in to get her out.
I heard some screaming and hollering, and I got up and looked around, and I seen the lady running that way with my water hose.
Durant Fire Marshal Wade Boyd says when firefighters arrived around 4:30 a.m., the house at 3rd and Tennessee was too dangerous to go inside.
When they initially got here, they laid lines and they attempted to go into the house, but it was just simply too hot, and they had to back up and go in defensive mode.
There was smoke all down the street. There was smoke just shooting out the windows, out the top of the roof.
Witnesses say that after getting out of the burning house, the couple rushed next door. They were trying to get the 2 people inside out, but the fire was just too hot, and there was nothing they could do.
And were unable to get them out after making several attempts, and they died in the fire. It's been a real tragedy. My wife is devastated.
Katie and Troy, I think, were about to get married. Yeah, when he turned 18 or 19.
Boyd says it appears a space heater caused the fire. Now family members and friends are struggling with the loss of 2 people they thought had so much life ahead.
She was really joyful. Everybody loved her. She loved her family very much.
In Durant, I'm Alex Belser reporting. The bus pulled up to Hugo High School with the last play after a 30-second timeout still echoing in their thoughts.
The main thing we're trying to do is make sure we got it in, make them foul us or whatever, and go to the free throw line or run a timeout.
With 3 seconds, the ball went to 11th grader Trey Johnson. He went for a shot and it went in.
I yelled quite loud at him, saying don't do it.
I was rooting in the chair, and the old boy next to me said, he made that in the wrong goal.
For those Hugo fans who didn't at first realize, the cheers from the other bleachers made them catch on.
He was just so excited. He just ran to a goal and shot and made the point. And it was for the wrong team.
I got a little lightheaded, dizzy. I kind of sat down for a second and raced through my thoughts.
Some residents say the loss is devastating because they have lost to that same team during state competitions before. But they also say they feel for what Johnson must be going through.
When he realized it, it was horrible. It was devastating. I felt sorry for him, really bad.
I don't know how he shot in the wrong basket, but I did it before, so.
Johnson went off with his family, but not before one last huddle of the season.
We wanted him to know that it's not his fault. We love him, and we're there.
It's what Coach always taught us is things like this happens in life, and you got to learn off of them.
While this wraps up the season for some, Johnson will have another chance at the state championship.
He's a junior. Hopefully he'll recover. Hopefully our community gets behind him because he's gonna need a lot of support.
I'm sure it's happened before. I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
In Hugo, I'm Alex Belser reporting.